Long, long ago, in a distant kingdom wrapped in mist and mystery, there lived a mighty king. He ruled wisely, yet his heart carried a quiet sorrow, for although he had 6 daughters, he had no son. When the queen joyfully announced that she was expecting a child once more, the king's patience gave way to cruelty. "If this child is also a daughter," he declared harshly, "she shall not be allowed to live." The queen's heart trembled with fear. As the time of birth drew near, the king commanded the midwife to end the child's life the moment she was born. At last, the day arrived, and a baby girl of breathtaking beauty came into the world. The moment the midwife gazed upon the infant's face, her hands froze. She could not bring herself to harm the child. Suddenly, the baby smiled, and from her lips fell tiny, fragrant flowers. The midwife stood in stunned silence, realizing this was no ordinary child. When the queen learned of this miracle, she too was astonished. She secretly rewarded the midwife with gold and silver and begged her to lie to the king. Thus, the youngest princess was hidden away and raised in secret. As the child grew, wonders followed her wherever she went. When she took her first steps, bricks of gold and silver appeared beneath her feet. The queen quietly gathered and hid these treasures. Years passed, until a terrible famine struck the land. The royal treasury ran dry, and the king sat in despair, unsure how to save his kingdom. Then the queen brought forth some hidden bricks of gold and silver. Shocked, the king demanded an explanation. The queen asked only one thing in return, a promise that her life would be spared. When he agreed, she revealed their 7th daughter. The princess walked forward, and gold and silver scattered at her feet. She smiled, and flowers fell like rain. The king's heart melted. He embraced his daughter, begging forgiveness, and swore never to harm her again. But jealousy ignited in the hearts of the elder sisters. To protect the youngest princess, the king built her a magnificent palace of her own. One day, before leaving on a journey, the king asked his daughters what gifts they desired upon his return. The youngest princess was deep in prayer and sent word through her maid, "Tell my father, patience." The king misunderstood, believing patience to be a rare object. When he returned, he presented her with a small box. The princess placed it aside, puzzled. On a hot summer day, searching for a fan, she opened the box, and inside lay the most beautiful fan she had ever seen. The moment she waved it, a handsome prince appeared before her. Startled, the princess fainted. When she awoke, the prince smiled gently and said, "Whenever you wave this fan, I shall appear. When you wish, I shall return to my land." From that day on, they spent their days and nights together. But soon, the jealous sisters discovered the secret. Pretending kindness, they offered to prepare a soft bed for the prince. In truth, they hid sharp shards of glass beneath the bedding. That night, when the prince lay down, the glass pierced his body. Bleeding and wounded, he cried out. In terror, the princess waved the fan, sending him back to his homeland. Days passed. The princess waved the fan again and again, but the prince never returned. Heartbroken, she made a bold decision to find him herself. Disguised as a young man, she set out on a long journey through forests and valleys. One day, resting beneath a tree, she overheard a parrot and a mynah bird speaking. The mynah said, "Only the broth of the giant wild pigeon, taller than a man, with glowing blue eyes, can heal the prince." Determined, the princess searched until she found the enormous pigeon beneath a great tree. With care and courage, she trapped it and prepared the healing broth. Disguised as a physician, she arrived at the prince's palace. The fragrance of the broth filled the halls. When the prince drank it, his wounds healed as if by magic. Within days, he was stronger and more radiant than ever. Grateful, the prince summoned the healer and said, "Ask for anything, and it shall be yours." The princess smiled and removed her veil. "Do you not recognize me?" The prince gasped. It was his beloved princess. Overcome with joy, he bowed before her, and declared her queen of his heart. Soon after, they were married in a celebration that lasted 7 days and 7 nights. The princess invited her parents and sisters. Ashamed, the elder sisters begged forgiveness, which the kind-hearted princess granted. And so, the prince and princess lived happily ever after. When she laughed, flowers fell. When she walked, gold and silver followed. And when she waved her magical fan, the winds of happiness filled the world.